Hi guys, it's me. Feeling a touch under the weather, but I'll manage. For you. I'm doing this for you. Totally not for me. More mapping. Got 2 more maps to finish out all of the tier 3s. We'll do that now. Estuary, which I'm pretty sure is what Quasimodo said, wasn't it? Estuary? Estuary? Can't really do the voice thing with the throat. Contains 2 unique bosses. 20% less cooldown reduction. We should be fine. No, we should be fine. Welcome to whoever has joined me. Hiya. I'll be a little low energy because I'm fighting off sore throat / cold thing, I think. So I'm running Subtractum's, pardon me, SRS build. Summon raging spirits. My spirits are raging. They're always angry. These kids today. And it has been very solid, generally speaking. I got extremely lucky. And for the second time in my life, managed to 6-link the old-fashioned way with a fusing. I was looking for 5-link, and on my 3rd link, it stopped consuming fusings, and for a moment I was confused. Fusing confused. And realized, yeah, I'd 6-linked it. It's only the second time I've ever done that. Not much in the way of juice here, so this map shouldn't be successful. And now I've said that, and I've guaranteed that I will fail miserably and die. As is tradition. So I will not be especially blabby tonight, because the throat, etc. But I will endeavor to respond to any chat. Beat him up faster. Come on, guys, you can do it. There we go. I did want to change my filter, but I'll live with it. I did want to make it. Ooh, that's a lot of badness. Oh, no, wait. I did want to change the filter to semi-strict. But it can wait. Ooh, six delicious sockets. So yeah, I linked the equivalent. I got this one all linked up. Threw an essence on it. May end up recrafting it later. But for now, 6 sockets makes me happy. What do we got? 6 additional packs. Cursed with Enfeeble. Monster damage reduction. Physical damage. Reduced effective curse or increased pack size. This could get bad. Let's do it. You're still kicking. The build's in a pretty decent place, at least for me, for what I'm used to. I am not a high-end player. I think the build is fine to go at least deep into yellow mountains as it is. But time will tell. Definitely understand now the power of the Guardian with this particular friend. Summonable. He is quite good. That is the Sentinel of Radiance, which you get from your first Sentinel. Basically, he kind of is running his own version of Righteous Fire. And if it's a boss or something, something that he gets enough time to actually take a big swing at, he really messes things up. Most of the time, his fire effect is sufficient. In here? No. That was the bossy dude here. We will open up the ball chest and then continue on with the map. So, the key to using him correctly is you have to be using Convocation to summon him to your location so that he can burn down everything, because he's too slow on his own. And once you... Oh, another 6 sockets, sorry, not 6 link. Once you realize what you've got to do to use him effectively, he is extremely effective. He takes care of most of the trash. The current deaths number, I guess 10 or 11? Most of those are League Mechanic or dying either in the League Mechanic or more likely dying to a very, very juiced map and some mob showing up that was just silly in its power level. Oh, am I full already? That's genuinely annoying. Alright. Yep. Toss that. What else do we want to toss? And grab that. And we'll drop a portal. special here. In case we die, we don't have to run all the way back. Oh no, damage tank is good. Two bosses over there. One down. Two down. Estuary complete. Let's see, where was I headed from here? Was I grabbing... I decided to grab Legion stuff. I guess. Yeah, sure, we'll just head back. A lot of unkilled mobs, but
Greetings.
Nope. Bit of a headache too, so just sort of not feeling all that great. So I will be low energy tonight. I'll apologize in advance. I know you normally count on my oh so witty commentary. Should have sold that. Don't want to bother going back to sell it. Feastbind. I think I've already got that. I do. I don't think I have an Ondar's class. An Eclipse Solaris. Already got one of those two. Keep that. Stuff. And let's go into the guild stash where any of my guildies can help themselves. I am a generous player, as you can tell. Let's finish out the last of the tier 3 maps. At least ones that will give us advancement in the spec tree for maps. Sorry, the brain is not especially functional today. Please forgive me. Deal 64% extra damage is cold. You know, I'd rather they didn't do that. 2 additional rogue exiles. Less accuracy. Sure. Easy and peasy. Let's go ahead and throw Immortal Syndicate activity in there as well. I had one really juiced map. I think I was over 3,000 of one of the essence from the wild, and it crashed on me. Actually, it hung me. Those are exploding frogs over there, in case you're curious what that sound is. If you've never exploded a frog, you might not be aware that that's what the frogs sound like when they explode. Fortunately, I have a lot of experience with that sort of thing. Tombstone ring, leather belt. We are at 1,367 purple juice. The only problem with our slow walking friend, other than slow walk, is you have to resummon him. He lasts about 30 seconds, so you gotta basically every once in a while just resummon him. He's pretty big. He was pretty big. We have the Breaker of Oaths. Part of the mechanics I'm not all that up on. So grab more purple because it needs more loot and stuff from the mods and the regular map.
Once more.
No. So basically you walk until you see something and immediately summon your big flaming friend. Who will generally get their attention. But this thing just likes to charge right through everybody just because it's a jerk. So 1964 purple juice, 256 blue juice. Now we are actually at the oh, we've got June here. First syndicate thing for the map. I am happy with the quality of this loot. Generally speaking, I think it's been successful. Got him? Got him. Hi, Jorgen.
The victor gets the spoils. Take this as your reward and let me go. I've nothing to hide. Only strength matters.
Got Unveil here. This will give us a new benchcraft. Well, the item itself is junk. Coup and
Exile. Another deal. Hate myself. Hate this. You honor the way by swiftly delivering death to warriors who fought well. I must confess, I believed you to be bluffing. I see now.
Your body is strong for you, but the cell.
couple more things to unveil. 90 life, a little strength, a little mana. No, the only new thing here is that. Fire and lightning, a lot of fire. 2 or 3 fire. Increased chaos damage. Increased skill effect duration. Or, oh, that one's better. If I decide to do a physical build. We've got another expedition up here. that next.
Hail!
Hail. Monsters immune to chaos damage. That doesn't affect me. I don't do any chaos damage. So we can come all the way out here. No goodie boxes over there. Any goodie boxes over here? Alright, so I think what we do is we go here first. We've got a total of 5 charges. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Canucket, how you doing? And we have cleared it. Let's see if we get any nice presents. I still think every one of these boxes should at least have some of the currency for the league mechanic here. Even if they've got nothing. Danig only exchanges, so he doesn't actually do anything other than exchange currency for the Expedition League mechanic. So I don't need to talk to him because he doesn't have anything I want. So this isn't the arena. We're not to the boss yet. And you should probably try to clear out more of the map. Generally speaking, you want to sort of try to clear the map. Oops. Those will all explode. And that would have helped. This open, get a couple of essences out of the unfriendly mob inside. Just summon my big flaming friend and he'll take care of the rest. Down. Pardon me again. It's not like a rotten cold or anything. It's just sort of bleh. Low energy. I didn't even drink that much last night. That's maybe the biggest disappointment. So much delicious stuff to drink and I didn't drink much. Oh, I'll get this.
No more deals. Just good, clean life.
Come on, Leo. Show me that red bang style. Oh.
Better with a weapon than with words.
Alright, got him. Corral's got 2 stars. 1.
Like the phoenix, I will rise.
Is that really necessary?
Hate to double cross an old mate, but Vagan's man enough to deal with it. Plus, I own one.
Sure. There's one more back here. Vegan.
Exile, you're taking all of this far too personally. But I must confess, I'd rather not be the next on the...
I will be cruel in my methods, because he can
Let's quickly check
Exile.
the veiled items. No, it's not any good, so physical damage and blinding, sure. Like it. Also, not good. And spell damage and non-chaos damage with extra chaos damage. Sure, those are two pretty good ones, actually. I'll keep the others for now. That is all three, I believe. All the single missions been done. Fan of not being able to basically see anything on the damn map, I gotta say. And I believe we're coming up on the boss now. Coming up on the boss now. There are 6 monsters left. I may have missed a few, but the boss awaits. And we go. Back to my hideout. So congratulations on conquering another Wednesday. Assuming a normal schedule, that means you are past the midpoint and can coast, hopefully, the rest of the way to your weekend. Knock on wood. Every time you finish a map and defeat the boss with some minor other requirements, you get a point. And then the points you use on this tree affect your maps. So for instance, all of my maps have an additional essence award in them. I have additional chance for getting Jun missions. Over here, this is expedition. I have an increased chance for getting an expedition in my maps. Now, increasing the odds of getting a Legion encounter in my maps. So you can tune it to the content you like, where most of this content is past leagues. Some are not just by the ones I came up with on my own were turned out to be the ones that were best, not because I was particularly smart, but essences always seemed good, and expeditions I know are very profitable. So everyone, at least initially, does essences and expedition. I don't know if they do it this way on the map because there are many different nodes to go through for various slightly different versions of the same thing, and then when you get out towards the periphery, a lot more very, very different options show up. Rather than just, more of this, less of that. hardest skills to learn in the game, how to relatively quickly buzz through your loot, see if it's worth keeping. If it's anything you're likely to use either on this character or another character. Me, I'm big on alts, so anything that's good on this character or another character. Singularity. Lightning damage to spells, cast speed, reduce mana cost. Nearby enemies are hindered. Increased damage with hits and ailments on hindered enemies.
Keep your life to
I
your
have no
own.
idea if that's actually used in a build. Cool looking though. And hey, isn't that what matters? Yep. Let me check. Over here in the exotics, we've got Eldritch Embers and one lesser Eldritch Ichor. Body armor. Well, let's see. This armor doesn't have an implicit. So for instance, this has an implicit. That's the adds 21 to 43 cold damage to spells and attacks. It's got a little line under it. That's implicit to the weapon. A lot of armors will have implicits. This has plus 12 to all elemental resistances. This has no implicit. This will add an implicit. Replaces any existing implicit. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give it a try, because I have nothing to lose. It's currently equipped. Shoot. Okay, now it's not equipped. Flasks gain a charge every 3 seconds. That's bonus points. That's nice. Didn't cost nothing. Gave me a nice little bonus. I approve of this. Alright, well, we have finished. The little line underneath these 4 maps indicate that I have completed them for the Atlas bonus, which just requires that they be in blue quality. And I've done all of the tier 2s, and now I've finished off all of the tier 3s. Let's move on to the tier 4s. Vault Pyramid, not my favorite. Precinct. And we'll start with Vault Pyramid. And you turn it into a blue quality map by just hitting it with a transmute. Monsters reflect elemental damage. That would be bad. I do lots and lots and lots of elemental damage. Monsters deal extra physical as fire. Players have less recovery rate of life and energy shield. That should be fine. Nah, we'll just do it vanilla. It's our first tier map for map tier 4 of the league. Woot! Through tier 5, I think, are the white maps. Yellow maps are 6 to 10, I think. I may not have those numbers entirely right. And then 11 through 15 red maps. Something like that. I've made red maps a few times. It's not that unusual for me to at least reach the red maps. I've only done a lot of red maps in a single league once. Like I said, I'm not much of an endgame player. Normally I'll reach a certain point where I'll want to do a different character. I get tired of playing the same build after a while. And some other item or skill I've picked up looks cool or interesting. So for instance, the fact that I have managed to 6-link something, I'll want to use this chest on my next build as well, because the 6 socket is not something I normally typically get in the league. Most of the time I end up playing a 5-link. And that's a lot less power. Okay, this is bad. Ah! Shit. Almost had it too. I just goes fast enough. Oh, that's right, I don't need my damn... Back in my hideout. Sigh. I have failed you and feel shame. Alright, let's see. Not Vit. We're not using Vit. We're using... Nope, we're not using Haste either. Where is it? There we are. Determination. And... I'm missing one somewhere. Was using Haste. We've changed Haste over. I was using Skitterbots as well. I want to be using Bark Skin. There we go. And Skitterbots. Good. And put the Haste in there. Right. That everything? I think that's everything. That was disappointing. And I wanted to put in another utility flask for my mana flask, because I don't need mana flask. Oh, where did I put flasks? Good question. Alright, where'd I put him? Not Nox. It did not. I gave up early even. Sad to say, I let myself down. I let the team down. I've got a bit of a sore throat. I failed you all. And I feel shame. What do we think? Evasion? Nah, I don't think evasion's the right way to go. Suppress and phasing's not bad. I never identified the Sapphire Flask, but I don't need that. That's fine. Yeah, I can't imagine I'm going to be... thank you. I'm not going to be especially gripping tonight. As opposed to usually when, of course, I am just so damned fascinating. Yeah. Okay, maybe not. 1500 to evasion rating. That's not bad. We'll go with that first. See, we'll see how we like that. But it needs another mod. Increased duration. That seems like a winner. I'll use that. I was doing well, but I just died again in the damn Wildwood. That's 12 deaths, I think. I would say 4 of them have probably been in the Wildwood. 7 of them have been caused by jacking things up in the Wildwood, and 1 or 2 have been purely my fault. Of course, not really my fault, but, you know, sort of my fault. Because obviously nothing could actually be, you know, my fault. That's just not going to happen. Alright, we've got Essence again. And we got it. This is Vol Temple. The Inventor. Bunch of Vol Orbs. Vol Orbs are nice. Big Bernie friend. I had to give him a name. He deserves a name. He's done stout work for me in this league so far. Derek. I think I'm going to name him Derek. Welcome, Derek.
3-round challenger return.
Alright, the Trial Master. Well, his first offering is crap. Monster hits cannot be evaded. Well, right now, my odds of evading anything are pretty low to begin with, so I'm not worried about that. We'll go with I can't be. Next up, 10 quality increased area of effect support, sure. Blades, Stormcaller runes. Lose power, frenzy, and endurance charge. Monsters gain. That could get dicey. We'll go with that. Accounts sign that's been corrupted adds 2 to 28 lightning damage to spells and attacks. That's level 24. No, it seems pretty good. Frozen pustules will periodically appear and explode when you approach. Let's go with the version 2. Up, an unstable catalyst. We don't have much room. Stormcaller runes would be bad. Cloud that deals chaos damage over time. Buffs expire 5 times faster on the players. I'm not really worried about the buffs, I don't think. Did you actually put monsters in there that I cannot reach without going out of bounds? Fuck you. That's just shitty, broken ass design. As now we get to fail this. Whoops.
Potential remains unrealized.
I don't even know what the fuck hit me. Other than that was a broken piece of coding. That's not supposed to happen. They're not supposed to put mobs on the other side of walls that you can't get to. That one, I'm not even going to dignifying it by calling a death to the seasonal mechanic. That's just a death to a fucking bad programming bug. Actual programming bug. And then haste. Everything in place? Looks like everything's in place. That was bullshit. Just want to be real clear about that. That one wasn't me. Alright. Still got a essence over here. Screaming Essence of Loathing. He's got lots of unpleasant abilities on here. fan of him. I don't say anything mean about him, but I'm not a fan. We will now go up. We'll grab the ring. Nothing over there. God, do I sound squeaky to me? Or do I sound squeaky to me? Because I sound really squeaky to me. Nothing there. Just drop off my friend in there and let him deal with everything else. There's something bad in there. At least one bad thing. Possibly more. Ambush there. Yeah, we could get a better Archon shield than one we're using. Not likely, but possible. You'll note that I'm also not playing especially well. I should be pausing every few seconds to cast my Summon Raging Spirits. But it sounds so much like work. Let's go up again. That's something I need to do better here, but like I said, my brain's not completely engaged this evening. For which I apologize. I'm going to drop again in case I croak. Pyramid complete. A couple unique boots. How much space we got for more stuff? We'll grab stuff that might be good.
I am no beast of burden.
But I'm no beast of burden, as I just said. Get all the mobs? Every single monster is dead. We're like a hero without actually having the heroism. And our maps now have a grand total of plus 22% chance to have a Legion encounter. I don't know if I want these expedition stuffs though. They're not really a big win. Go to Kirak. He's boring. Betrayal. Oh, call it the Grove, probably there next. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go there next.
Hello.
Hello. Nope. Nice resist. Nothing else.
Journey well.
I think I've already got one of these. I do. March of the Legion. Plus 4 to level of Socketed Aura Gem. Socketed Gem is supported by level 25 Divine Blessing. Armor and Energy Shield. Elemental Resist. Movement Speed. That's actually really good, especially because I'm already using Divine Blessing. No life, though? Yeesh, no life. That's painful. And Dark Ray Vectors. Don't recognize it. Let's see. Maximum Frenzy Charges. Let me... Alright, our next Tier 4 map is Precinct. Juice it up a little bit. Monster physical damage reduction and more magic monsters. Those are both fine and dandy. How about beasts? If we go with beasts and I get a really juiced up map, that could go badly. So yeah, that sounds like a plan. I can never keep the map straight, so I'm never sure which one is which. Oh yeah, this is one of the maps that I, in fact, don't like. We got a little bit of blue juice going this way. Again, I was forgetting to keep precasting. My second best line of defense, along with my blade of flame. Oh, no, no, no. Careful, I think these are bad mobs. There's this one mob that shoots out this line of purple blossoms. They look very pretty and are just awful. They're pretty unpleasant. Ha ha ha. I'll play on words there for you. Breaker of Oaths. He's the one who sells bodies. I think these are supposed to be used to turn into specters, I think. It's the primary use for them. But I'm not positive about that. Whoops. Purple juice.
Claims are
edge him.
compelling. His word.
Alright, back to precinct. We've got 1,350 purple juice, so we're slightly juiced. We're not extremely juiced, but we're fairly juicy. Gotta get there. Take a couple steps. Cast summon raging spirits. Couple steps. Cast raging spirits. It does make for a somewhat tedious playstyle. But if you watch the really good players, they tend to be constantly moving small amounts. We'll probably have to double back. One of the things I don't like this map is I've never found a path through it that feels optimal at all. It's got a lot of doubling back. It may just be a case of pilot error though. There's a easy, straightforward point to point to point to point path that covers everything without double backs, but I don't see it. Our first yellow beast approaches. Mirrored stuff. Always a pain in the butt when it drops. Goes up your screen, makes you want to look at everything. It's almost always just trash. And half of it is trash that you wouldn't even want to use, even if it was good. It's mirrored and therefore you can't craft it. Another 6 socket. That was the boss. We finished the boss. Didn't even notice we were fighting the boss. That was him, the one of the dead guys. And that's kind of the way of this build. A lot of the time you're not going to be seeing what you're fighting because you're gonna summon your big guy, burninate stuff, and back away while you send raging spirits at everything. Dead end. We love those. We ARPG players love dead ends. That's another beast, and then there's one of the yellow beasts. That's 2 yellow beasts. Why are you still swinging? Wall area, wall side area. Dude, this one looks. That's a lot of text. Area contains 4 additional packs of corrupted monsters. Increased number of rares. They have 100% increased area of effect. They deal 143% extra physical damage as cold. They overwhelm physical damage reduction. Rare monsters have 2 additional modifiers. Holy shit, this is death walking. So I've got to try it. In this case, the fault will be entirely on me for doing something really dumb. This one's murderous. Absolutely freaking murderous. The 100% area on those is silly too. Bearers with 100%. Let's make the bad even worse. Something. Doing that much extra damage, that much physical damage, mitigation, avoidance. I am reminded of a line by the famous philosopher Dalton in Roadhouse. Pain don't hurt. See those things hit like a freaking truck. No problem. Is that the boss? That's the question. I think that might have been the boss, in which case we'll be fine. Those are my explosions. Yeah, that was the boss. We survived. Totally worth it. We've got 2 beasts left, one of them red. The red beast to get easily. Misery, envy, dread, and scorn. Well, misery is one of the ones that if you throw corruption essence at the essence, oh, that's the red. He's going to be there a while. Is that the red and the yellow? No, just the red. Red. So I need to head back to town for just a sec. We'll sell and dump our stuff. And we'll pick up an essence of corruption. See if we can get lucky.
Greetings.
Greetings, salutations. Hey, how you doing? Missed one. Alright, the ring. Oh.
with courage.
I'll go with courage. Courage is my middle name. Magnifying courage lens. Nope. Ball cleave, ball blade flurry, and ball ice shot. Another 6 socket. Kiara's determination, immune to freeze, chill, curses, and stuns. It gives onslaught for 2 seconds. Samus's gift. Projectile speed, dex, cast speed. Cast speed? 8 casters. Quiver. Life, resistance, chance to avoid being stunned. Increase lightning damage per 10 int. That doesn't seem bad. It is sort of a, I guess, a bow. Casters. Quiver. Lightning quiver. I didn't get it. I wasted a portal because I'm dumb. Sometimes, well, in my own defense, my brain's only semi-working today. There's the remnant of corruption.
Greetings.
And I can't even say it was the drink. Imagine feeling kind of crappy and you didn't even drink to get feeling this way. This doesn't seem fair. Well, he went fast, but we did not get an update or an upgrade on the misery essence. It did not turn into, if you corrupt it, it can turn into another type of essence. I don't remember exactly what kind. Well, we still have a yellow beast here somewhere. I would like to get that, if possible. Of course, it's possible. No, that's not it. That's another shrine. Alright, where'd we miss the damn yellow? This is why I hate this map. Because it's a map that almost always reduces you to backtracking and stuff. It's just bad. It's just a real shitty map to play. Not here. Maybe up here to the left. Looks like it's got to be in here. No, and there's no way through. I have no idea what the fucking thing is. Looks to me like I've covered the entire map, but I haven't found one mob missing. So, screw it. We won't find it. There's still more than 50 mobs on the map, so somewhere in here is a bunch of mobs that I missed. I have no idea where. And I'm not going to give a shit about it, frankly. Not worth my time. Did I go through all that and then not use the remnant of corruption? I did. Wow. Wow. The brain's really not doing its thing today, guys.
Greetings.
Okay, hold on. Pardon the yawn again. Alright, we have no more tier 4 maps. Let's see what tier 4 maps Commander Kirak has that he wants to sell us, if any. 4, Cemetery. 2 orbs of chance or 4 orbs of chance. We'll take the... Wait, we didn't do Cemetery. Kirak's Atoll, that's tier 5. 4 orbs of chance modifiers. Apply to rarity. Yeah, I'll wait for now. Let's take the Cemetery now. And we'll give it some superpowers. Monster skills chain 2 additional times. Buffs on players expire 30% faster. Sure. I can handle this. I'm an adult. Sorta. How about some additional voltaxic sulfite? Again, my apologies for the low energy stream, guys. But I'm living that low energy life. Into the wildwood. Real wild. That sounded like something that was blowing up, and it was. Huh. I think I've only seen strong boxes in here once before. And I need to continue to cast my primary freaking spell, my SRS. I keep screwing it up. Final point on it. Okay, that box dropped absolutely nothing. That didn't get eaten by the filter. And I'm running like a regular filter. Wow. None of them dropped anything that the filter didn't say, it's crap. Disappointment is complete and my day is ruined. Not much in the way of juice in this map. Purple there, not much really. Six sockets. Got some yellow juice here. Over 1,000 now, so a reasonable amount of juice. You know, we also got the portal here, back to the real map. These pulsing tubers have literally never dropped anything I've picked up. Give me the eggs, man. The eggs drop currency. That's useful. Alright, back to cemetery. of the judgment. That's the name of the league. Mechanic. We'll clear out around her. Cassia. Nope, something dropped. Sound like a map. It's a map. Got a map. Got a level. 82? 84. We grow up so fast. Stop throwing things at me from afar. It's rude. Cassia. We're almost full up on sulfite. And that is, I believe I was coming over... Where was it? I think I was trying to grab a gem socket somewhere. But no? Oh, there it was. Yeah, I remember. Alright, Cassia, what do you got? Oh, great. Opposite directions. That only really sucks. That's all that does. Ice. Summons. Ice. Summons. That's not good. That thing's not dying fast at all. Succeeded. That's that last bit. Yes. Yeah, we actually succeeded. Go us. Woo! We're number 1. With a bullet? Two ghastly eye jewels. I have yet to get an oil out of any of the blight cysts. Yeah. Okay, teal. It's not bad. Contains mirrored items. Great. I freaking hate mirrored items, but at least they were all such crappy items they didn't even have to look at them on the map. Got a copy recipe. Criticals, rank 1. Oh, don't stand in those. Those looked bad. Probably because they were bad. And we've got the arena here. So we will drop a portal. is a maybe.
I am no beast of burden.
I am no beast of burden. God. I can't tell you how much I detest that. It's fine, though. It's fine. Really, it's fine. Kite shield. We still got more stuff needs killing around here. I was going harvesty, I think, wasn't I? I was going all harvesty with it. And we've got full bags. Pop back, sell some stuff, come back in.
Greetings.
Greetings indeed. One purely mechanical difference I have found between myself and the best players in the world. Most specifically, I've seen it on the player named, I believe it's _Ben, who is not just probably the best PoE player in the world right now, but also one of the best WoW players. Who he quit the Race of World first team after his team got, well, screwed. Not in this last race, but in the previous race, or the previous race before that. Blizzard's made a very, very dubious choice that, in essence, handed a very, very closely contested match to the opposing team, and he wasn't happy about it, and I can't say I blame him. But I watch him play, and he can have an inventory filled with one square item, 1x1 square items, and just go like this. Faster than I can, like, fake move through. Clicking on each one, and each one going into, say, the sell offer.
Keep your life
That
to
kind
your
of
own.
speed and coordination, I'm pretty sure I never had, even when I was young. Spoiler, I'm not young anymore. It just seems inhuman to me. That's right, Ben. I said it. I'm not sure you're human. I think you're a cyborg sent here to destroy the confidence of gamers like me. No, there it is. What do we got? Minions have increased maximum life. Gives me more armor. Chance to block. And 28 life for me. Minions deal additional chaos. Minions deal increased damage with hits and ailments against abyssal monsters. That last part is crap. Currently have in there, my minions are dealing a whole bunch more extra chaos and cold damage when they hit. Yeah, I don't want that one. It's not worth going back to sell it. That one has some serious resists on it and decent life. Delicious flavors of oils. Alright, let's can still finish off this map. I've already got the boss dead, but hey. Maps are a resource. Oh, those were unpleasant splodies. Did not like. This way. I think I got stuck on one of the bodies briefly. Ew. Creepy. Ew. 30 monsters left. We'll finish off the regular monsters and we'll come back for the essence. We are now full on sulfite. 9 monsters left. That might be just the ones left in the essence. So, yeah, looks like that's about it. Misery, Envy, Dread, and Scorn. Those are the ones. So, we didn't get any of those, so it's just going to be regular. Business as usual. And die first. Thank you. Screaming essence of rage.
Hello. Farewell.
Not much out of that. Remains of that map there. 4 fusings. That's not bad. That's not nothing, as the old saying would go. So, we're currently out of tier 4 maps, but you can always trade in 3 of a lower tier map for the next tier map.
Greetings.
But we want to make sure it's one that we haven't done already. Grotto. I'm pretty sure we haven't done Grotto. But
Go
I will
with
double
courage.
check because I forgot to do so. Grotto. We have not done Grotto.
Greetings.
Grotto.
Go with courage.
Grotto. Wow. Brain. Vapor lock there for a minute. Monsters have 194% increased critical strike chance and additional critical strike multiplier. Let's just go ahead and alt that. Chain and cooldown. Fine. Fine. Let's go Mortal Syndicate activity again. So whatever I do for my second build, I'm going to want to use the same chest as I'm using here because 6 sockets are historically very hard for me to come by. You know, pros never seem to have much of a problem with that. They're playing kind of a different game than us casuals. You know, I look at them and the end of the day one. Oh, great damage in there. Ooh boy, thank goodness I got that. That's the badness right there. Those purple flowers there are the killers. They're just freaking awful. Almost got me. I would have been unhappy with that. Don't think Grizzly trophies. You know, I mean, conceivably that could be something, but 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000. Basically, you know, that's about the best thing I've ever gotten out of one. Something that actually might be okay. We are jacking up our purple pretty significantly here. We are over 2K. I have not been dutifully applying enough of my raging spirits. Oh, I clicked it. I didn't see what it was. Currency you find has 25% chance to be duplicated. You take 50% increased damage. Oh, I'm totally going to die on this map then. Alright, that's fine. It'll be fine. I accidentally clicked it before I could read it. Oops. Totally not a problem. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. $2,352 purple juice. This will not be problematic. Couple of ports that I'm making. I heard something clank here, am I right?
My baby?
Not a very good location for that. Ambush. For me. Not bad for them. Not great for me.
Cheated.
4 of them?
Must have.
That explains it. 4 of them in this tiny little space. That was not a problem at all. Jorgen's got no stars. Ricci's got 2. Hillick's got 2. Riker's got 1 for Ricci.
If you think I'm going to say or do anything to further your pathetic cause, you...
I am well acquainted with death.
What?
Hate myself. Hate the syndicate. Rather be dead.
The weak deserve death.
Riker.
I'm afraid the only option here for me
Blight
is
Scarabs.
execution.
Not really interested in Blight Scarabs.
You may despise the machine bow, but you'll hate my prison even more.
Jorgen.
I've seen your strength. Strong and reasonable. I like you, Exile.
He likes me.
Blessings.
Well, what's not to like? I mean, seriously. What do we got? First, the ring. It's got decent life. Not much else. But now we will also give it... Well, we can give it... That's not especially interesting. Trap throwing speed. Sure, I could see myself playing a trap build. I enjoy trap builds. Harpy Rapier. This would be used, of course, by one of our occasional visitors here in stream. The Fae. Nothing particularly useful there. Penetrate. Spell damage and mana regeneration. Physical and poison. And the shield. Nice life. Nothing else. Strength and chance to avoid being ignited, or dex and chance to avoid being frozen. Let's go with that. Multiple bombs. So all of these have got a fractured.
I am no beast of burden.
Implicit on them. Not implicit. Ethics. Mana per enemy killed. Garbage. Increased critical strike chance. Nah. 16 int. That's very low. 10 dex. That's even lower. Armor and energy shield. What tier is that? Tier 2. No, that's actually not terrible. I'm gonna hold on to that one. Got one more over here. Grab that. +2 to level of socketed bow gems. That one's conceivably quite good too. Alright. One of these ways is the wrong way. I think we've got stuff back here we can clear out. Let's do that. Misery, Envy, Dread, and Scorn. Nope. Wrath and Torment aren't those. I would scream because it's a screaming essence, but right now I don't think I can manage a scream. I know. Old man problems. Beat the fortification guards. Got another ongoing. Question is such a good will since they're all downed like that. Jorgen and Chimeria.
I just can't bring myself to care.
The weak deserve death. I've seen your strength. He'll never even suspect.
Cool winds.
Couple more items to unveil. Physical damage, 2 levels, socketed melee round. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Sure. Don't see any reason not to. That's a trash tier item. Cold damage, chance to freeze. Yeah. Yep. Fine. Hey there, Tetrodotoxin, how you doing? I myself am not quite under the weather, but not fully functional either. Of course, a defensible case could be made that fully functional is not something I do. We have a Legion. Might be our first. First in maps, I'm pretty sure. I'll go back to that in a second. Ow. That hurt. That hurt my feelings. Alright, Legion. I'm sorry to hear it. For me, a couple of days ago, it started with my right nostril deciding that it wanted to run all day long, 2 days in a row. And yesterday, a little bit in the throat later on, and then today, a little bit in the throat still. Are you not familiar with Path of Exile? Good out of it. It is a Diablo-like, but it is far more in common with Diablo 2 than Diablo 3 or 4. It is a free-to-play. They get you mostly in storage tabs. But for $20, you can pretty much get all the storage tabs you'd need. It's a very good game. If you enjoy ARPGs. It is, however, the most actively hostile to new players game I've ever seen. It's amazing to me how hostile they seem to be to new players. It's extraordinarily deep and complex. It was probably about 2 years before I realized that 20% increased damage and 20% more damage are entirely different things. The end game is the mapping system, and as an example of complexity, every time you finish a map you haven't done before, there's like 160 maps or something, you get a point to sort of customize what things show up in your maps. And this is the tree just for customizing the maps. This is the spec tree for your character. You start in one of 9 locations on the tree depending on your starting class. And as you level up and complete quests, you get points to apply. Yeah, holy shit's a pretty common. It's not as complicated as it looks, but it is quite complicated. It looks ridiculous. A lot of it is things like this node gives 10 dexterity. And here, you know, you've got increased energy shield and life, energy shield life, energy shield life, energy shield life, and a little bit of resistance. So a lot of it is that. It's pretty straightforward, but the overall thing is incredibly intimidating. For new players, I wouldn't recommend playing too far into it. If you choose to do it with a homebrew build, you're probably better off finding a build guide. I'm following a build guide. I've done a couple builds on my own. They were mediocre at best. I've had more success in taking somebody else's build guide and then changing it up in a significant way. For instance, there was a glacial hammer build that looked very interesting, and instead of using a one-hand hammer and a shield, I did it with a staff, which completely changes up where you go. You have some stuff here might be for one-hand hammers, and on another place it would be for staves, and have completely different buffs and abilities and stuff. But yeah, it's very, very intimidating, and it's not very welcoming to new players. There are a number of guides out there for new players. The base game is free. You can just download it off Steam. And the only thing you buy that's useful is storage tabs, and everything else is very, very expensive cosmetics. There are no microtransactions here. There are a lot of macro transactions here. Let me really quick go back to my hideout and sell crap.
Hello.
But it is a really good game, and every 3 months they bring out a new league, a new challenge league with a new mechanic. If the mechanic works out well, it'll get added to the core game permanently. Otherwise, they'll yoink it. They're not afraid to say, you know, this league, our new mechanic, didn't work out as well as we'd hoped, so yeah, it won't be going into the core game, which is completely admirable. Too many companies would be, well, we spent a whole bunch of our, research assets, our R&D assets on the new league mechanic, and we're going to cram it into the game whether it belongs there or not. This is the currency tab. This is one of the tabs I would recommend buying, and the rest are just regular sort of storage tabs, additional space. There are other tabs that other specialty tabs I've bought. The uniques, definitely don't need. Essences, you definitely don't need. Maps, if you go deep into the game, you might want to have that one. Other than that, all of these are just regular storage. White Wind. No, here, that one. Yep. And most people would probably label these tabs. I mostly can't be bothered because I mostly can't be bothered. That's not a good reason, but there it is. +2 socketed chaos gems. There was something else I wanted to make use of. Didn't I have a shield somewhere? I bet that would actually sell. +30% increased movement speed on an unerasable affix. Good thing. I could have sworn I had a shield somewhere with either +1 to fire or +1 to minion skills, but I can't find it right now. It's not showing up. No, not there. I have no idea why that's lighting up. The word skill doesn't seem to appear there anywhere to me there, but it says it's there somewhere. That's +1 level of fire spell skill gems. I could have sworn I had a shield. I know where it is. There. I've been waiting to get a regal. I forgot about this. +1 to level of minion skill gems, and minions have increased life. Wow, that's a lot of resistances to lose. I'm going to have to spend some time working on that to make that worthwhile. But I was correct. I did. What I said is I said to myself, I'm going to try and roll up a +1 fire or minion skills. And I got that minions had 25% maximum life, and then I used a single augmentation on it and got exactly the skill I wanted. Blew my mind. But replacing 75 life and armor, energy shield, 1 good resist and 1 solid resist, that's going to be tough. What do our resists look like right now? We're in good shape on resists, except chaos. I'll need to work with that. I believe I still had more stuff to do on this map, though, so maybe I should finish that up first. Instead of, you know, running around like a dumbass. To be fair, I do a really good dumbass. Yeah, I make it. I'm always endeavoring to find a path without doubling back. And inevitably that leads me to double back. So one of the basics of the game is any class can play any skill. So this is my gear. These gems basically fall into two types for the most part. Summon Raging Spirit is a casting spell that casts these temporary flaming skulls that attack things. And then these are all linked. You can see connecting up the sockets here is a little link. That means all of these skills, the support gems here, all support this to do more damage. So we have Unleash, summons more than 1 when I click. That summoned 4. This makes them do more elemental damage because they do fire damage. This increases their elemental damage even more, but now they can't set things on fire. This makes all minions, so these ones, they have less maximum life, but they do more damage. And here, when they hit something, their damage splashes onto adjacent mobs. And so that's really good for clearing. There's another gem. Where was it? Not there. That one? No, I need to swap it out somewhere else. That I can swap in here instead of splash, just does more focus damage for a single target if I'm fighting a big mob. But it's a terrific game. It genuinely is. Even though sometimes it drives me crazy, and I think sometimes the designers, the devs have their heads entirely impacted rectally in some of the decisions they make. Exactly. The gems you put in gives you all of the abilities on your hotbar. And there's offensive, defensive, buffing skills, and so I mean you can be a caster or a guy who hits things with big hammers, and you could end up using the exact same skills. Now it's unlikely somebody with hammer is going to be casting Summon Raging Spirits, but they could, and with enough work you could probably make it feasible. Yeah, a lot of the game is very smartly designed and different from what is sort of, the standard expected model. And if you want, let's say you want to make a bleeding build where you're going to dot things up and watch them bleed to death. You can do that casting. You can do that with bow and arrow. You can do it with melee. And they're probably going to be supporting things on this tree for bleeding scattered around so that they can be reached by different classes. There's a lot of very, very smart design in the game. Sometimes I think they do stupid stuff with it, but the fact of the matter is that because they crank out new content every 3 months like clockwork, well, pretty much like clockwork, occasionally they'll stretch out an extra couple of weeks. Our first Sacred Grove. Nice. But since they crank out some content, sometimes they're going to screw it up, make mistakes. They're not afraid to try stuff. So overall, I think very, very highly of the game, but yeah, sometimes it drives me fucking crazy, the devs. You see those big flashes of like fire? That's the Raging Spirits and their melee splash, hitting everything in the area. One of the most unique things about it is the currency. So items like these, Chaos Orb, Orb of Alchemy, Transmutation, Alteration, they're crafting items. All of the currency in the game is used as crafting items. So this will re-roll a blue quality item with new random modifiers. This one will take a white quality item and make it into a yellow quality item with random modifiers. This one will take a rare item, yellow quality, and will completely randomize its already existing modifiers, re-rolling all of them. And so one of the things you have to do is work with the stuff you get and add or change abilities on it to make them fit. I think that is the single most unique thing about the game, is the fact that all the currencies are actually crafting items. sure it's clear. Not really, no. All or almost all of the crafting is done onto items you find. A lot of times, for instance, one of the best things you can find is a high-level plain white item with no abilities at all that has a particularly good item type. So for instance, this is a prophecy wand base type, and this is a convoking wand base type. And base types will have different either different types of things they can roll. So for instance, this is a convoking wand, so it can roll minion affixes that will buff minions, and it has an implicit minions deal 30% increased damage. So sometimes the best thing you can get is actually a white quality one of these that has no affixes, and you craft on top of it. But all the crafting is done to stuff you get as drops. And you can even wipe all of the affixes off and start with it fresh if you want. But it all requires different types of currencies. Some will be picked, some will be random. For instance, there's also a thing called the crafting bench, which in essence allows you to choose an affix and add it. The one at the bottom that's in sort of the white color that says 24% to fire resistance, I added that one specifically from my crafting bench. This one, energy shield. This one, armor and energy shield. Here, armor and energy shield. Lightning resistance, movement speed, and so on. Now, some things like this, well, you can only have 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes, and they're already full. Primal Scrabblers or 2 Primal Scrabblers? Well, given the choice. Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. Yeah, it's very, very scary looking, for sure. It's not as bad as it looks, I will say that. But it is really complicated. And something in there does not want to die. You can see my dude's wailing on it. Hardcore. And finally, there we go. Oh, nope, not quite yet. And another one popped up. I don't think we finished it. That's me. That's me. Alright, maybe it's dead. But I wouldn't be surprised if it shows up and murders me. No, no, it's dead. It's spritz in the water now. Did we get all of them? We got all of them. All right. Well, and also because, like every 3 months they drop, there are 22 monsters left, a new, basically, not quite expansion. They alternate between what amounts to an expansion, what amounts to just sort of a new league mechanic. But because they layer those 4 times a year, you've got all of these mechanics waiting for you. And each one is a little bit different in the way they do things. And that can be really imposing too. So it is a lot. It is a lot. This is another one of the previous league mechanics. I screwed that up. That was not an elegant dealing with it. Didn't die. Alright, Aisling.
I know you want to kill me. I would too. But we are like the mythical Hydra.
Death's too kind for a monster like you.
There are no monsters left in this map. Mapping is the end game. No, not that. Here. These are the maps that I've done so far. This is the entire atlas. And as you finish off a map, you get another point to spend to make your future maps have more likely to drop various League mechanics, specific ones that you enjoy more. Or ones that you know are particularly efficient in terms of experience or giving you fat loot. This right here, going through your loot and deciding what to immediately sell, is one of the tougher things to learn. It took me a long time, and I'm still not very good at it. So all these currencies do something different. Rive, I think. I think Rive. I did want to check and see, where am I putting my cards? There they are. No div card matches yet. Maybe do one more. Alright, we've got 6 chateau maps. We'll see if we can get a tier 3 chateau. If you sell, as I mentioned earlier, if you sell 3
Greetings.
tier 3 maps, you'll get a tier 4 map back. That is Lookout. I'm pretty sure I've not done Lookout.
Journey well.
Tier 4. Lookout. I have not done Lookout.
Hello.
We will sell for Lookout.
Farewell.
And you need to have the map be at least blue quality. So I will use an Orb of Transmutation. That will take a white quality item and it'll make it blue quality and give it 1 or 2 affixes. Monsters, Steel Power, Frenzy, and Endurance charges. That's fine. I don't generate any. This will add 1 more affix to a single affix blue item for crafting. 24% more monster life. That's fine too. But if I didn't like these, I could apply an Orb of Alteration and it would re-roll, and we'd end up with 1 random prefix and 1 random suffix. We stick it in the map device. We can choose to add an additional type of former League mechanic to a map if we like, but we'll just activate it. And we have 6 portals, or 6 deaths, or 6 returns to hideout to finish the map. But It's a Lot is about the best description I think I've ever heard for what it's like to a new player. This is the current League mechanic. Called Affliction. Yes, this build is a summoner. My primary skill that I use most is Summon Raging Spirits. It summons a Flaming Skull that lives for like, I don't know, 12 seconds? 8.2 seconds by default. And it hits mobs. I have a support skill in now, so it will summon, depending on how many charges it builds up, every like 0.7 seconds it builds up a charge, and if I fire it off, I'll get up to 4 instead of just 1. I can have up to 20 out at once. I also have a Carrion Golem. That's him running around there. I summon a Sentinel Radiance. He lasts for 30 seconds, but he moves really slow, so I have a skill called Convocation that teleports him to me. So that's when I'm moving, you'll see I'll leave him behind, I'll cast that, and he pops to me. he's doing a lot of damage in a circle around him and has a really slow attack with his sword. So anything that's still alive, he usually kills like that. Other things I've got going. Up here I've got buffs. This is the buff for the Carrion Golem. I've got skitter bots, which run out around in front of me, and they chill, so slow mobs, and they shock mobs. Shocked mobs take more damage. I have Determination R that is giving me and my minions more armor. So, down here, other things I've got the Convocation, which summons minions to me. There's a Wave of Conviction, which does a decent amount of damage, but also gives them a significant debuff, so they take extra damage. I've got this, which is a debuff on mobs. It lowers their elemental resistances, so they take more damage from all of my stuff, which does elemental damage. And it's the layering on of game systems that is the difference between a good build and a stupidly good build. And the players who really know what they're doing make absolutely ludicrously powerful builds. I'm not one of them. I'm playing a build that one of them put together, but I'm not one of them. So I can play a decent build, I can get into maps, like I am right now. I can play pretty deep into the game. I'm not sure I can play into the end game right now, the real end game, like the super powerful mobs and the like. I have in the past reached them occasionally, some of them at least. But for me, getting about this deep, a little deeper than this, you know, reaching the next, say, 5 tiers of maps, there's like 16. Getting deep into yellow maps is about as far as I go, sometimes getting into red maps. But I tend to get bored playing the same build for too long. So at that point, I'll find an item, usually that I found that I want to use in a build, and I'll find a build I can use that item on. In the past, I've done as many as, honest to God, 12 builds that got into maps. In a league, I was having a lot of fun. Now, here's another former league mechanic called Breach. This glowy hand here, when I step on it, a slowly expanding circle is going to go out, and mobs will be spawning in there. And the more I kill, the longer it expands and expands, and then it shrinks really quickly. It used to be an extremely good source of XP and items. They've nerfed it several times, and now it's not a very good source of items. Still a pretty good source of XP, though. So I will launch a bunch of my flaming skulls. I teleport him in the middle of me, middle of that big batch of mobs, and they all die pretty quick. Because he has and there we go, that's it. Because he has a very large area of effect fire around him that killed them all really quickly. What are you? I don't know what you're doing over there, but you're pissing me off. Oh, Twitch rules. Evidently, I believe it happened today. They announced a change in their rules about sexuality and stuff. They're going to allow, I think, boobs, as long as it's all, like, clearly marked in the stream stuff. So women will be able to basically do honest-to-goodness titty camery. Yeah, I'm not sure about all the details. That was the way it was described when I was looking at another streamer. And so that's my joke. I'm going to be a moob streamer. Well, it does kind of depend as to how... as always, in all things on the internet, the devil's in the details. I have a stunning set of he-hooters. God, I can't believe I said that out loud. Not as good as they used to be. I've lost a lot of weight. Yeah, I've learned over time. Basically, any white item. There's also a filter. I'm using a third-party filter here. The game allows for filters, and the filters will change what color iconography is attached to something. So here it's just notifying me that there's an Elder Sword here. But if I hold down Alt, everything shows up, and you can see all these other items. They didn't even make the filter, so they're just junk. I also have a movement skill for getting out of trouble in a big hurry. As that's very useful. Unsurprisingly. After everything dies, whatever was in the chest. Whoops, another yellow mob. Rare mobs, yellow mobs can have a lot of unpleasant affixes, do a lot of damage, but they also drop the best loot. There are unique mobs. A lot of the league mechanics. For instance, this league mechanic, when I was running around in the dark there, occasionally I was picking up little dots of light. The little dots of light are motes of essence, and the more essence I pick up, the more buffed the mobs will be on the map here when I leave that little dark area. Oh, they made some changes to TOS already. Yeah, I'm just not sure exactly as to how, pardon the phrase, explicit they are in describing what sort of stuff is okay and what's not. This is another league mechanic from the past, Expedition League. And this is one I have buffed up my league maps to do more with, because I find it fun and it's also profitable. So, this guy here, where is he? Rog. I have 5 charges that I can place on the ground. What I want to do is I want to, where there's a little chest icon, I want to have the explosive unmask the chest. But here are things that will buff the items and the monsters. So you kind of want to get those too. So you want a combination of where the chests are and the buff items to give you the best shot at getting good stuff. So in this particular case, we'll start here. We'll drop this, the first charge. It should get 2 chests and 1 buff station, we'll call it. Second.
I hope you know what you're
Third.
doing.
4th. 5th. And then we set them off, and they go off in order. And monsters come out of the ground, and there'll be chests left over. Everybody? I think that's everybody. a lot of these chests will also drop some amount of currency that you can use to buy goods and services from the NPC. Rog, for instance, is essentially a crafting NPC. And you pick an item with an interesting base. Sure, we will go ahead and try and build something out of the ring. So the pie price is 27 of the currency. We'll buy it. Now it'll re-roll the suffixes 3 times, keeping the best outcome. So I can skip it if I don't like what it's going to do for the craft, or I can choose the upgrade. In this case, it's going to give me 3 suffixes. Ones I currently have are pretty crap. One of them is good now. Upgrade the level of 2 modifiers by 1 tier. Sure. Add a prefix modifier 3 times, but only keep the best. Currently we have 2 prefixes, only 1 prefix, so it'll add a prefix and do it 3 times, but only keep the best 1. That was rarity of items, that's the best. It's going to reroll suffixes 6 times, keeping the best outcomes. Now that's 2 solid resists and 1 very good resist on there. So now this ring is looking like it could end up being good. So I'm going to leave it here for now. He'll still have it the next time I get him on a map, and we'll keep trying to improve this ring. Right now the suffixes are very good. I'd be happy with those suffixes. The prefixes, one is poor and the other is not very helpful to me at all. So for now, we leave that there. And I believe we're about to face the boss. 27 monsters left. I may have missed some monsters somewhere. We have a crafting recipe. Leech. Yes, I am. I'll drop a portal here, so if I die, we can get back here easily. That's it. 8 monsters remain. I missed a monster somewhere. I won't let it keep me up tonight. And we'll just grab some stuff here. And
I am no beast of burden.
I'm no beast of burden. No, you don't lose loot. What you would lose, I mean, unless you're playing hardcore, and even if you're hardcore, you don't lose the character. That character simply gets sent out of the league, gets sent to the standard league. Basically, every time there's a new league, the old league characters get moved to the standard league. Standard league, you can play if you want, but most people come back every 3 months to play in the new league. Your old characters go into the standard. New characters start here. Any hardcore characters who die go to standard. Otherwise, you just go back to town. You might lose some XP if you're high enough level. You can lose some XP down here. But that's it. Back to the hideout. Got another point on the tree here. Currently, I was adding points for harvest. The harvest was the place where you had 3 sets of 2 patches of ground. And you choose one of the patches and the mobs would come up. And you'd kill them and maybe get some of the currency.
Hello. Hello.
Let me sell this stuff. Well, ID and then sell. Oh, one more.
Journey well.
So we got a bunch of currency, and let's see. Anathema, Moonstone Ring, Energy Shield, Intelligence, Cast Speed. Chance to gain a power charge when you cast a curse. Your curse limit is equal to your Maximum power charges. Wow. That's a lot of curses. Most of the time by default you can only throw one curse. Because of my talent tree, my spec tree, I can throw 2. But this allows you to have curses equal to your maximum power. That's a lot, potentially. There's a mechanic called Heist, a former League mechanic, which they put an enormous amount of work in, and sadly I find it a little bit too rippy for me. I'm far too likely to die, especially if I've got good stuff in my inventory. Only here, if you die, do you lose the stuff that you've gotten on the map. Only in Heist. But some of the League mechanics get their own bits and pieces. This is the Horticrafting from from the Harvest League. I got 525 crystallized life force out of it. So these are the various crafts that I can do with that life force that I got. Reforging an item with random modifiers, including a life modifier, will cost 75, and you can just reforge the rare item over and over and hope to get good stuff. So that's the kind of thing you can do with these crafting. This is the regular crafting bench that allows you to add one affix, either prefix or suffix. And there are a large number of them, as you can tell. These are the ones I don't have yet. And let's see. Nico is from Delve League. Einhar is from Bestiary League. Cassia, Blight League. Jun, Betrayal League. Alva. Incursion League. And each of these has a mechanic associated with them.
I'll go on.
And they all have something you can use. For instance, this is a temple you can go back in time to and change the layout of the final temple by going back in time and changing stuff.
Cool wins.
She has a bunch of here's the current investigation. Basically, this is like a private eye who's got all these pictures up on the wall connected by threads. That's what this is. It's like a big criminal conspiracy, and you're trying to trace down the connections.
Hello.
Cassia, she can anoint stuff, necklaces with special abilities. Einar has beasts, and the recipes you can use. If you fight and kill all the beasts required for the recipe, you can change mods, get random unique items. A number of these are very, very powerful. Nico is Delve League, which is generally a very, very well-liked league. And in here, you can mine out or delve out in various directions and get to a location that'll have items or armor or jewels. Yeah, it is so much stuff. The reason I'm showing you all of the stuff is I want you to realize that there's an incredible amount of depth in the game that's available to you. But on the negative side, it's also sensory overload. So I just want you to be aware. And the thing is a lot of this stuff doesn't show up until you're at higher levels. So at low level, you're not going to run into it. But over time, you will, if you play deep. So, I mean, the depth is intimidating, but should also be attractive to a gamer who enjoys depth. If you like ARPGs, but find this a little spooky, between, say, Diablo 3 or Diablo 4 and this, Last Epoch, which will be launching in February, is a really good ARPG. That game is in an excellent state, and I have played it a lot. I did buy into early access, but it's in a good place. Has been in a good place, and the place just keeps getting better and better. So that's going to be a really nice additional competitor for PoE, and eventually PoE 2 is also due out next year. Knock on wood. So, ARPGs, generally in a pretty good place. I think I'm going to call it here for the evening, as I think I'm about to have my throat go on strike. I want to thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with me. I know it was a low energy stream, but I'm a little under the weather. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not good. So, but thank you to Trototoxin. Tomorrow's Thursday. I may take the day off. If I'm feeling a little better, though, I'll probably stream. Maybe more PoE. Maybe more Guild Wars 2. Don't know. But in the next day or two, I'll be back at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I will put something on the Discord before I start, or if I'm not going to start, and let you guys know. Again, thank you for hanging out. I hope the rest of your Wednesday evening goes great. Come on, just a couple more days and you get weekend. You can do it. I have faith in you. I should be back, I would guess, probably tomorrow, but if not, on Friday for sure. Have a great night tonight. Take care. Thanks again, guys. Ciao for now. Good night, all.